'63 Studebaker GT Hawk. Just be a very dark metallic blue. Old stock fender.
It almost looks like a Jaguar.
Oh yeah,
Almost.
they're unique.
Ford.
It's a Studebaker.
That's a Studebaker?
Yep, 1963.
And that grill looks like a Jag.
4-speed tachometer. It's got a radio delete plate. I've never seen that in one of these before. Headliner looks good. Black upholstery. And there's red upholstery from another car. I don't know if there's a parts car around here. It's a chrome trim. The bottom rocker panel trim is inside. Oh, here's a Toad. GT Hawk Toad. Appears to come from South Dakota. Can't read the town, but I see South Dakota on the oil change tag. It's dark here, but I think I just feel light surface rust. Not perfect, but not bad. Floor has a little rust. It's a little patching. Reads 80,000 miles on the odometer. Bottom of the seat was reupholstered. I see stitching here. Hood will open or not. Don't know why the window's down. That seems like a bad idea. Rain will get in. This panel looks very nice. Raspberry bush. Yep, South Dakota. Kind of sinking in the dirt here. This window's down too. It doesn't make sense. Must have been in for a shed for a long time and they drug it out, parked it out here. A little bulge here, so the rust is about to start coming through, but it's pretty darn good. Some little pits, by the way. Oh, there's a big dimple here. Driver quality gross around, I would say. gauges aren't attached. It's like oil bath air cleaner. I think it's a 2-barrel carburetor. All that stuff growing up in the engine bay. No power steering. Wow, that's unusual. No power brakes. It appears to be just a 2-barrel carburetor. That fan shroud, I'm gonna grab a hold. It's got like a fiberglass fan blade. That's never seen one of them on before. Something aftermarket, but I don't dare grab it to try to turn it over. So I don't know if the engine is seized or not. A little bit of coolant in the radiator. Oil is clean, just a little bit over full. V 10961. I don't like seeing this window down. I'll put it up on the other side too, it bugs me. It's got reclining back seats, or reclining seat backs, I should say. Another Diamond T. Look at this. Headlights are half covered. I guess this may be like a 1-ton rated model. I don't see any Hornets in here, so I'll sit down. I'm curious what these are like for legroom. It's a little on the small side as far as legroom, and it seems like the roof is really low. This has crank out windshields. Otherwise it doesn't seem too bad. You look out the side, I see just below the top of the side window because it's so low. It's almost as if it was chopped, but that's just how it was made. I'm 5'10". I have enough head clearance, but it just seems a little bit small. I was here 2 years ago when the guy was still up and around. And I remember this is one of the cab overs I remember looking at, Studebaker cab over. I don't recall which one, maybe it was this one, I don't recall, but one of them I believe he said he got out of like Kansas City, off a stockyard. They used it for feeding the cattle, if I remember correctly. The doors are stripped off and the fenders are stripped off, if I recall, because they didn't need that, because they'd get in and out of it working around the stockyard. Flathead 6, that's all they offered. Rare machine, need a lot of work. Heavy duty homemade bumper. That's a cutting edge from like a road grader. This appears to be a KB, either K or KB International truck. Werner elevator, grain feeds to Watkins, Minnesota. It's got a brake booster down there. Got some military tires on the back. I would guess this to be like a KB5 model, perhaps. What is this? This looks interesting. Is this a Hudson? Parks Garage, Bismarck, 1941. Okay, so it's a homemade pickup. So this is actually the roof. They cut it and then folded it down and welded it here. It's pretty crude, but effective. So apparently it was a 4-door sedan. They cut it into a pickup. Even folded the headliner over. I don't see any name identification. I'm not familiar with what this is. Somebody will know. Flathead 6. Oh, it's Packard. Engine says Packard. Look at that. So I assume it's a Packard car, unless they stuck a Packard engine in some other make. This is apparently a Studebaker, judging by the cowl tag. Much about Jeeps, but I'm told they rust out pretty severely. But I don't know, they did some cutting torch work. I see the floor is rusted through, but it doesn't appear to be severe. Looks like it could be patched up. Looks like they ran into something here. They patched in some metal for the frame. No engine or tranny in it, so you can put whatever you want in it. Skelly gas truck from Hutchinson, Minnesota, Diamond T. No, a Studebaker. Wow. But the paint on the door doesn't quite match that of the cab. It's not faded, so I don't know if this door actually came from this truck but it is the same model of truck door. Headlights are missing. There is a Studebaker badge. It looks pretty nice. I like that. Grill is damaged at the bottom, but maybe it can be straightened out. Appears to be the same dash as that cab over we first looked at over there. Some kind of nest in the cab here. Some wood framework for the cab. Wood rafter essentially for the roof. I'd say this is a very rare truck. Directional arrows and the turn signals. I imagine that's an optional accessory. Hold down is seized, but the engine is in there. Okay. It's a neat grille design. I'd assume that to be maybe mid 1930s vintage. I don't know if that bumper on the back is correct for this truck or not. I almost think this might be a newer bumper. This might be a 1950s vintage Studebaker. So I don't know if this, I don't know what that is. An apparatus. Willys Jeep wagon. And a newer Jeep, I forgot what these are called, like around 1970 vintage. Come, I can't find a name. Looks like it's must have been decal on here or something. It's a Comanche. Interior doesn't look too bad. Some rust down here. There's a Studebaker Transstar. It's missing the back window. I need a back window for one of these. There's a grill for a Jeep. Nice shiny chrome grill. Door has rust. Cages are gone. Engine's still in there. Looks like it has a straight six. Go back at this grill. Looks like this one was painted silver where that one is chrome plated, so well, that's actually a different design grill. I was mistaken. Or is that a Ford truck grill? Anyway, moving on. On a sumac here. Transstar appears to have a good grill. I think it's, I believe it's 1956. Oh, 54 and 5 might be the same, looking at where the turn signals would go. So it has a little rust, but going back to another Studebaker truck. This one is cool with the dump box on. The box almost looks too heavy duty for the truck, so I don't know if that's original to it or if it was added years later. sumac growing up here too. A little damage at the bottom, otherwise neat looking grill. It's got a beer can for a radiator cap. At least this one has the headlights on it. Some trim apparently missing. Last tagged, and plate says 1966. There's a decal there, maybe a 67 or thereabouts. Okay, so here's what the bumper is supposed to look like. It's kind of what I thought. Doors marked St. Paul. Actual wood floorboards, a genuine floorboard. Real deal. Appears it was upgraded with plywood somewhere along the way. Otherwise, I imagine it had genuine solid boards. Maybe oak. Box looks complete with tailgate. Side panels, I don't know if from a different brand of truck, they might be Diamond T. Hmm. 1950s vintage Studebaker pickup. I don't want to get too deep in this sumac because it can irritate the skin and cause some nasty stuff to happen, similar to poison ivy. That looks like maybe a 1-ton rated pickup. Box looks pretty good. Cab corners are rusted out, and the door's been patched along the bottom. Inside looks complete. It's got the big back window I need. Appears to be a 4-speed. Plastic dash panel, dash cap, whatever you call it. Seat looks complete. Where the fenders have been patched. Bottoms are rusty. So this doesn't have the cutouts like the other grill had, so I would guess this to be 54, 55. Last tag 1975, Minnesota. I don't know if it's what engine it has. It's a 6 or an 8. I'm afraid of kinking the hood, so I'll leave it. KB2 International, so that'd be 3/4 ton rated. That looks pretty nice condition. Has a real nice body. It has the grain chute in the tailgate. Last tag in 1984. So looks to be in really nice condition. Stone guards. The other side is missing. These are really cramped for space. If you're over 5.5 foot tall, it's really tight, but it looks really nice inside. Door opens really nice. This Says 61,000 miles. It might be true. Floors look solid. But really tight for space. So I got a 1967 to 72 Ford pickup cab. Camper Special. 1973 or newer Chevrolet cab. It's down in the dirt. Well, I see the cab corner's rusted out. I don't know about the Ford cab. Actually, it looks pretty darn good. Hole in the floor. But from what I can see, the outside of the body looks good. Another Diamond T-truck. Huh. That's kind of neat. The details they put in the frame, they got diamond and a T cut into the cross members. That's interesting. Vacuum operated 2-speed rear differential. This was a Willys wagon, they cut it into a pickup. Ford pickup bed. There's a Studebaker bed from the 50s, 60s, 67 to 72 Chevy long bed. Bed doesn't look too bad. It's beat up some, but it doesn't appear to be rusty. Tailgate's missing, and one fender missing. Fender's a little beat up, but it doesn't appear to be rusty. But the bottom side of the floor is covered in dirt, so I imagine that's pretty pitted. Probably not worth any more than scrap metal price. I don't know what that bed's from. That looks pretty old. It's even like from a Bantam trailer, military, I don't know, but I would think it'd be heavier duty built. It has a pretty weak looking floor in it. Appears to be a Dodge step-side bed, long bed. Another bed, just like that other, I don't know what it's from. No identification. The tailgate looks like it may have had nameplates fastened. Studebaker body. Guess like 1949 to 1953 vintage. Sunk down in dirt, but from what I can see, looks mostly rust free. A little hole coming in there, and being the front of the door is on the dirt, it might be pretty rusty there. It's a vegetation inside.
Studebaker what?
Tractor's dump bed. Diamond T truck. Another one of those early 70s Jeeps. Commando, they call it. Commando. Toll bar. Last tagged in 1993. Transstar with a V8. It's missing the back window too. Tailgate looks pretty good. Another Studebaker 50s vintage. Big back windows missing. So the same two-tone as my 56 Studebaker pickup. Oh, there's the glass. 4-speed, whereas mine's a 3-speed. Spotlight. Windshield's broke. Side glass. It looks pretty nice. I don't know if the engine's in here or not, but the hood is damaged. It was kinked at some point. This one's also a V8. I'd say it's a 1954 model. Earl's Machine Service, general machine work, welding. Can't see what town it was from. 3-speed shifter. Diamond T. Heavy duty grill protection there. Diamond T, Diamond T. Peterson Farm, Pearly, Minnesota. There's another Studebaker bed. I don't know if that's auctioned separately or if that goes with this Diamond T truck. Appears to be it's a short bed even. Missing the fenders. Tailgate's gone too. Interesting. Wonder what they'll do with that. '50s vintage Diamond T. They shared a cab with the 1950s International pickups and trucks. I don't know if International designed that cab or if Diamond T did. Both Chicago-based companies. That's nice. Trim piece is missing. It's a power takeoff. '50s Studebaker pickup. This is 1949 to 1953 vintage. Has a small back window. 4-speed. So that flathead 6 in it. Last license in 1972. bottom of the doors are rusted out. Not a rust bucket. It's very restorable, in my opinion. And it's a half ton, whereas this 50s vintage Studebaker is 3/4 ton, either 3/4 ton or 1 ton. So 54, I'm guessing, got the V8 in it. We got a big V8 hood ornament. Gets your attention. A little rust, but it looks pretty darn solid. It's like the whole rear edge of the fender is rusting through. That can be repaired. 4-speed. '67 to '72 Chevrolet pickup way looks, 3/4 ton, rusty. Another Studebaker Transstar, supposed to be 1957 or newer. I don't know if it's a V8 or a 6. It's got some identification on the door too, company name. Used machinery, bought and sold. I can't read the name. Has a tilting flatbed on it, but it looks too short to haul any equipment on. It's not long enough for a full-size tractor, certainly. Grill looks good, fiberglass. So something and Son, H-E, I can't make out what that said. I'm gonna guess Heim, H-E-I-M, but I can't say it for certain. Is that a W? Hugh and Son? Maybe it's Hugh and Son. Used machinery, bought and sold. Again, I can't read the lettering down below. Four-speed. Another Diamond T-truck. It's unusual color, typically red when I see them. This one was red originally. Red must have been their standard color. I would guess this to be late 40s vintage, maybe. There's a Dodge. Quite the hood ornament. Stainless steel. Oh, Studebaker. Look at that. So like 1940 vintage. A little brush growing up. It's got some damage here. Some, I don't know if it's rust or if it's just collision damage. I don't know what happened there. Spare cutout here. It's not rusted through. Got sunk down in the dirt, unfortunately. Maybe not too far. I don't think it's too bad. So it's either from a car or a Coupe Express. So this is Trying to figure if it was black originally or some shade of light green originally. Maybe we'll come upon it. It must have been light green originally. Well, it's had a different emblem on it once. It got this design here. I don't get it. Need some welding, straightening. A little beat up. Diamond T with a Diamond T cab on the back. So it's essentially a crew cab. Look at this. This Diamond T is from my area. Milaca and Foley DX service station. Now this had a tilt mechanism on it. Maybe it was a tow truck. I will guess it was a tow truck for my area. That's neat. Look how short that window is. How much area to look through. Some rust come along here. It's pretty neat. Black and Foley. This again, I believe, would be late 1940s vintage. Plate says 1970. The tag says 1971. Interesting. Look at this ornament. Got the Diamond T there. And I'm guessing some maybe kind of like jeweled looking insert maybe was in there originally. Nice. The Diamond T cab and chassis. Axles, truck axles. A D-Series International. These are getting kind of scarce. This, like, I believe 1939 and older. The Lone Star International semi-trucks are kind of a retro version of this design. Diamond T. 3/4 ton Champ pickup, Studebaker Champ. I inquired about this 2 years ago, but he was considering using the engine for something else and nothing ever came to it. I think the engine is still in it. Tailgate is missing. Got a hoist. Apparently Sears Roebuck must have sold hoists for grain boxes. That's a unique rear bumper. Every Champ I see has its own unique rear bumper. Top riveted rocker panels over it, so there's rust issues. Of course the fenders rust out here, that's common. Can't tell if this is a 4-speed or this has the rare 5-speed in it. Door won't open. It's got the sliding back window. Chrome grille. I don't know what that light is about in the bottom. I've never seen anybody put that Studebaker emblem in the grille either. It's maybe from an older car. That's the transmission. This is the 5-speed overdrive transmission even. Cool. Studebaker radio in it. It's got twin traction differential. It's got a tag here, caution tag. Some aftermarket gauges added. Floor has been rebuilt. Looks like they added a dual fuel tank system to it, judging by that valve there. I don't see the hood release. Maybe they redesigned that. Got a light on the roof at one time, maybe. Oh. Francis Lake, Yukon. I don't know what that's about. But there's a story there. Got a V8. Oil bath, air cleaner. It might be a 4-barrel. I can't quite tell. T. Another D Series International. Diamond T. This might be another D Series International again. 69 or 70 Chevy pickup. Headlights and such in here. Lots of books. I don't know if this is going to be auctioned or not. Diamond T chassis, running frame and such anyway. Must be a Packard. Ooh, look at that grill and seat. Oh, this must be a new old stock fender. How rare is that? And this has a really clean body on it. Cool. Early 1930s, maybe international pickup. Oh, those two mystery beds match this bed. Interesting. No identification. Must have like a fabric roof. Wood framework. It's a welding. Spare tire carrier. Seems to be a Cadillac, early 50s Cadillac. Another Dimension truck. Can't make out the writing on the door. This appears to be like a 1954 Studebaker truck. Last tag in 1967. A little rust on the doors, but otherwise looks pretty darn good. Maybe it says Cambridge, Minnesota, which isn't too far from me. An E28 model. It says Studebaker Corporation, so I guess it's a 54. If it was a 55, I believe it would say Studebaker Packard. Got the big back window that I need. And a very short grain box. I'm assuming, nope, this one is mounted solid. It does not dump. '67 to '72 Chevy plow truck. Dodge. Heavy duty, must be 1 ton. Willys Jeep. And here's the other Studebaker cab over truck. Maybe this is the one that came from the stockyard, Kansas City. Maybe they chopped the roof off for that purpose. I don't recall. This one's very beat up, but they're very scarce. Trying to figure out this apparatus. What is that? I guess it's just a cylinder. It's unusual. This is a Studebaker, M series Studebaker, 1948 or older. From Iowa City, Don Cooper, I believe it says. So this cylinder, if that's what it is, has the pump built right into it. Usually they're mounted separately. I've never seen one like that before. There's the power takeoff shaft to run it. Cab corners rusted out, but these are pretty simple looking cab corners. No complex stamping. Diamond T. I don't know if this is this Oldsmobile or what this is, or maybe a Cadillac. Here's a Chrysler, I believe. What is this? Briggs. Is that Packard? Yeah, it sure does. I don't know if there's anything worth saving on this. Lawn art, maybe? Oh, this must be a Studebaker, judging by the body tag. 6-cylinder. Body doesn't look too bad on it as far as rust. Dash parts missing. Needs a lot of work. Humpback trunk. Wig. Bumper hitch even on there. Bottom panel is rusted out along the bottom. But these taillights are valuable. Glass. These are pretty neat. I like those. Of course the chrome's pitted. Dual barrel design is nice. So this, what is this, 49 Studebaker? 47, 8, 9 looks similar, but I think the 49 is round here. Being that I said that, I'm probably wrong. Anyway, I'm guessing it's a Champion model. It's a Starlight Coupe Champion way it looks. With the wraparound window. Airplane inspired. See a little rust down there in the rocker panel. That's a long looking door. Surface rust, but it appears solid at least. Floor might be okay even. Comes the money shot looking out the back window. Ooh, look at that. Pretty cool. Fenders, I don't see any rust in the fenders. Okay, there's some bubbling here now that I say that. Pretty good condition, so I'm guessing it might be from a dry climate originally. Here's a Packard, early 50s Packard. Tudor hardtop. I'm guessing this has a straight 8 flathead in it. Some body filler to patch some dents apparently. Interesting car. Fancy. Chrysler Imperial Tudor hardtop. Interesting door handle. Leather interior. Kind of two-tone pink and white. Look at that. Fancy car. Oh, it's got transmission selector on the dash. Reverse, neutral, drive, low. I thought it would have push buttons. That'd be a neat car fixed up. Very unique, but very expensive to repair, I'm sure. Gas filler cap, I guess. Another D-Series International cab, I believe, and a 50s Studebaker cab, 49 to 53 vintage. Can't judge how the bottom is because it's sitting on the dirt for the most part. I think there is blocking, but I think the blocking settled into the dirt. But it might be in very good condition. I can't tell for certain. The cab corner looks okay. The cab corner's had patching here, fiberglass. So it looks, there's a little bit of rust on the door. So not perfect, but looks solid. Diamond T-cab. This is like cab over cab. Where's it from? Wheel wells are pushed way back, so it has to be intended for a cab over. First, my identification.